What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Do hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by. Real quickly, if you haven't done so yet, if you could hit the subscribe button. Also, as well, if you could like the video. And any comments that you want to make, please feel free. Leave them in the comment section down below. So, today's video, a little bit sort of slightly different, I suppose, because given our positioning within the league and where we are and everything and how we're doing and the success that is coming with Farke and everything that goes with it, I think it's quite normal for people to make comparisons with Bielsa. And for me, I think it's quite telling, you know, that people are already talking about that. Like, sort of like, is it, if we do get promoted in the first season, is it going to make Farke better than Bielsa? And is he better than Bielsa? All of that kind of stuff. And those types of conversations that appear to be going on at the moment. And for me, and again, this is just my opinion, so I could be completely wrong with this, but for me, you can't compare the two. It's two completely different scenarios in terms of managers and what they have done or are doing for the club. So for me, to kind of break it down a little bit, when Bielsa came, I'll be honest, I wasn't massively up to date with him as a coach, as a manager, as, you know, what he was capable of, what his capabilities were, etc. So I wasn't. You'd heard obviously the rumours about everything and all of that kind of stuff, El Loco and all of that, the grenade and all of that goes with it as well. And you kind of think, right, well, let's see how this kind of translates into, you know, what we've got within the squad. And that kind of summer period went fine and everything was going okay. And I specifically remember going to the Stoke at home, first game of the season, and within 5 minutes sitting there thinking, what in the good God am I? This isn't the same team that I watched last season. This isn't the same team that we watched struggle last season. I don't quite understand what he's managed to do. Now, when you take it in terms of what Bielsa actually did for Leeds United, what he did in essence was, it's almost like he rebuilt a city, for want of a better phrase. This is how I view it anyways. And he gave a city back its football club, and he engaged the football club back in again with the city. I think that makes sense what I'm saying there. And what he essentially did is he took, and I mean no disrespect to any of the players that I'm talking about here in the Bielsa squad, he took a ragtag bunch of players effectively and made them absolute monsters for those 2 seasons and the season in the Premiership as well, but specifically the 2 seasons in the Championship and the season in the Premiership. He made them absolute monsters, just in terms of their levels of fitness, what they were able to do, how they were able to play, and he made those players connect with the fan base again, and just that cohesion and that harmony that we had with the city, and it all kind of coming back into fruition again. Now, I think we can all agree that the way, obviously, I think we all knew the writing was on the wall for Bielsa at that moment in time when it happened, and the club handled it horribly. There's no other way of saying it. They handled the situation absolutely horribly, and I still think Bielsa deserves his flowers at our club. I don't think he's been given them properly. He gave me, without a shadow of a doubt, 3 of the best years I have ever had supporting my football club. And 100%, he made the players relatable. he made you want to support the players. That's the best way that I can describe it. Now with Farke, the biggest difference with Farke is that he's now come into or inherited what is quote unquote a Premiership squad. But what he's had to deal with in the summer was just an absolute shitstorm. There's no ifs, ands or buts about it. Just an absolute shitstorm of a problem in terms of players that didn't want to be here, players that wanted to leave, players that weren't committed, players that weren't sure what was going to happen. And I think he dealt with it fantastically well. He has done a phenomenal job. And I think one of the things that you have to be honest about with Farke for me is that he does not take any nonsense. If you are not committed to the squad, your teammates and the project at hand, you're not involved. End of story. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter, how good you've been playing. If the commitment isn't there, he doesn't want you to know. He doesn't want you to be there because he wants a culture of people understanding the privilege that it is playing for the club. And that is where the similarity lies with Bielsa, is that he gets the privilege of playing for Leeds United. But the difference is that this is again, quote unquote, a Premiership squad. When you look at the players that we've got, and again, don't get me wrong, to get into the Premiership from where we're at, you have to earn that right to get there. If you don't make it to the Premiership, you haven't earned the right to get there. We don't have some divine right to be in the Premiership. Every player on that pitch has to earn it. And we've been seeing it recently in terms of the culture that is now within the squad. This season in particular, it's quite clear that they are all, and I've said it a couple of times now, that they are all friends. They all get on really, really well. And that's what, for me, Farke has done with this squad so far. And I think you can't really compare him with Bielsa in terms of, well, who's better? Because it's the wrong way of looking at it. It's the wrong way of doing it. Bielsa turned water into wine, basically. That's what he did. He made us absolutely fall in love with him, the squad, the club again, because we were all a little bit disjointed. We were all a little bit separated from the squad as well. And what Farke has done since he's come in, he's brought that little bit of law and order into it with regards to you do not mess with Leeds United. If you don't want to be here, then you won't be here. Sinistera is probably the best example that I can give of that. And I haven't talked about it because, I'll be honest with you, for me, he's a rat and I don't want to mention him for an extended period of time. You go to take the club or you threaten legal action on the club to force a move through is just... it's disgusting behaviour, and I hope he gets booed to absolute buggery when he comes back, or if he ever plays at Ellen Road again, because, that's a sour taste in my mouth that just won't go. Did the same thing with Nonto as well. Nonto's heart wasn't in it, refused to play, so fine. Don't train with us, don't train with the squad, you can go and train by yourself, do your own thing. He did exactly the same thing with Cresswell as well. If your heart's not in it, you're not involved, because that disrupts the cohesion that we have within the squad at the moment. Like I said, you can see this group of people that are in the squad, they're friends, and they'll go to the ends of the earth for each other. So when you look at it in terms of the Bielsa side of things versus Farke side of things, whilst the end goal is the same, it's two very, very different situations. Bielsa almost effectively rebuilt a city. That's the way that I look at it. And that's not me putting him in godlike status. It's just things, the big mural of Calvin Phillips going up on the wall, Bielsa's mural on the way into Ellen Road, all of that kind of stuff. And just that connection with the club again. That's what Bielsa gave us, something to be immensely proud of and something to really sing about. What Farke's doing is he's taken an absolute shit show of a mess with Premiership players, sorted the wheat out from the chaff, got rid of the ones that don't want to be here, has brought in law and order, for want of a better phrase, and we're now starting to reap the rewards for it. That's just my opinion on it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, if you agree or if you disagree. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button, like the video as well, and if you could share it, I'd really, really appreciate it. I just wanted to put my 2 cents into something and just to see what everybody else thought. So thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it, and we will see you on the next one. Hopefully be another pleasing video, because we've got another 3 points once we go to Swansea. Take care.